One of the things I absolutely love the best about video games is the fact that there's always something to talk about. There's always something going on, and the industry seems to be changing at a crazy pace. And I feel like that is one of the things that makes talking about video games so much fun, even though, a lot of people will say, well, maybe it's a downtime or something along those lines. And there can be downtimes for video games, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing to talk about. Usually when you hear a YouTuber or a influencer talking about there being a lack of news, they usually mean lack of stuff that they can really kind of get behind or really get audience engagement with or a lot of views with and things like that. And, that's just kind of a factual thing. For me personally, I don't get any views, hardly. So it doesn't really matter. I can talk about whatever I want. So it's one of the fun parts about video games and my channel. Clearly, Microsoft has gone into this year with, all steam ahead. They're going out of their way to make sure that what they're going to offer the fans is exactly something that's going to be enticing enough for fans to kind of jump in and say, hey, this is pretty damn amazing. I can't wait to get that, And I said earlier, Microsoft has a way about them that pretty much makes it almost impossible to dislike them. And I think that's why, and I know this is an oxymoron, but I think that's probably why PlayStation fans dislike them, because you know what? They don't like the fact that Microsoft tends to do kind of well now, and there's not really much there to trash talk. It's the same old, you got no games! You got no games! I mean, they know that that's borrowed time. You don't think that they're, well, maybe I'm giving them PlayStation fans a little bit too much credit here, but at the end of the day, I feel like they can't be that stupid, right? They have to understand that whole no game stuff is out the window, especially with today's news and this bit of information making it even more likely that Microsoft is, really gunning for Sony. And you know what? I'm here for it. What's up, everybody? The Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with yet another video. Thank you very much for checking out my videos. I love it. Please leave a like on the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on the videos, as it helps the channel. And, it means a lot to me personally that you guys do that. It's a small goal. I understand that. I have a crappy channel. It's a small channel, whatever. But it still means something if you guys could get some likes out there for it. So anyway, Microsoft commented on this, and yes, I know you guys are tired of hearing about this stupid FTC and Microsoft and Activision, but Microsoft shot back today, and their lawyer states that they're going to close the Activision acquisition even if there's no FTC resolution reached. Basically calling the FTC's bluff a little bit here. So what that means is, no, it doesn't mean they're going to back out of it. It means they're going to go ahead and close on it and go ahead with things. So according to recent information from the first pretrial hearing of the Microsoft deal with Activision Blizzard, Microsoft intends to go ahead and close the deal if the FTC is unable to reach a resolution. This comes from new info regarding the acquisition that has just surfaced. Microsoft's lead counsel, Beth Wilkinson, stated in the pretrial hearing that once Microsoft and Activision manage to work out a remedy with pending adjudications, the deal will go forward. She also mentions that the companies also already assumed that this to be the result in the FTC taking the case to federal court. Wilkinson stated that if the company works out any remedies with the European Commission, the EC, or the Competition and Market Authority, the CMA of the United Kingdom, it'll also offer the same remedies to the FTC. And this is what she had to say. The deal is undergoing review over in Europe and the UK, and we are hoping that they will be resolved. And if there are remedies that are appropriate, we can come back to the FTC to talk about a resolution. Now, to prepare for a potential development in court, Microsoft and Activision have agreed to expedite the discovery schedule with the FTC due to the deal's termination date being July 18, 2023. For reference, FTC's in-house trial schedule is for August 2nd, 2023, and the FTC has not yet officially filed an injunction to block the deal, but Microsoft is still expecting to close the deal by the original termination date. So Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal has been very hot news, and it looks like we're getting more of the same. Now today, this is very interesting depending on which side which side you're on. Clearly the PlayStation fanboys are on the opposite side. They're hoping and praying for the FTC stuff because they don't want to see, they don't want to pay out money every year to play Microsoft-owned stuff, and B, they don't want Microsoft to have any kind of perceived advantage like Call of Duty going into Game Pass day one. Of course, close to the case is Leah Nyland of Bloomberg, who specifically covers antitrust in cases similar to the Microsoft Activision acquisition. And Nyland has tweeted coverage of today's hearings, and while details are a little thin on the ground, it's starting to sound quite positive for Microsoft, Xbox, and Activision. So she said that they're waiting for the prelim hearing to start. The teleconference line dropped, and I guess there was a little bit of issues there. Declaring that the FTC has no plans at this time to file in federal court, according to her. It certainly sounds like the FTC feel like either A, they don't have a strong enough case, B, already have enough concessions promised by Microsoft, or C, feel an agreement between FTC and Microsoft is within reach. It could easily be all of the above, but the second point, that the FTC have authorized staff to engage in settlement talks, further outlines that the end could be a little closer than we anticipated. The final points, no substantive discussions at this time, is a moot point, as Microsoft also made it clear they are awaiting the results from EU and UK authorities, which, by the way, the EU and the UK authorities have not filed any motions to block it whatsoever. Microsoft's preliminary hearing before the FTC, Judge Michael Chappell, said they expect the EU and UK to settle soon, possibly with remedies, like I said, so they'll be able to go take those remedies that they've accepted and pitch them to the FTC and hopefully get a good idea out of that. It's certainly clear that Microsoft feels like everything's under control, and they're very confident on finding a solution or remedies to ensure that the acquisition will settle and pass in the UK and the EU, and then Microsoft will likely return to the FTC with those same remedies to find a final solution with the FTC. While some have suggested that the acquisition drama could continue through 2023, the final tweet seems to confirm that Microsoft expected it to be pretty much all the loose ends tied up possibly before summer. Again, Microsoft is prepared to go to federal report. They say, we assume the FTC would make a final decision to go to federal court, and we want more to front load that evidential period. Microsoft expects a resolution or decision in the next few months. So yeah, this is really cool to see that. Again, this is all stuff that Microsoft should have known. And I'm sure that they did. Like, a lot of people want to just act like Microsoft is stupid or that they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they're a $1 trillion company with many, many lawyers. Obviously, they're going to have ideas and different things and ways about them that they can go out there and, and they had to figure that this was going to happen, or that, the outcome was going to be this. And again, I just feel like Sony tried to stall as long as possible, but there's not really a reason to deny this. That's the main kind of point that I would kind of point out here, is that what would the reasoning be behind this? There is no singular game that would completely dominate and make it to where, you couldn't compete. Like, Sony is so full of themselves when they say this stuff, and I think, obviously they realize it and probably understand that it's kind of a crazy situation or whatever, but again, at the end of the day, I feel like Microsoft has done a pretty damn good job of explaining things, and so many people were like, well, how's this really beneficial to gamers, and how's this really help gamers? And I've mentioned it, and then you never hear anything back from any of the people that say that. That's the funny part. To me, it's just one of those things where you can't wait to see what happens in the future, because I feel like Microsoft has a key plan to how they want to do things, and so many people are like, afraid of it. And listen, I was a little bit afraid of it as well. And it's like, obviously people want to stick to like the sales of games and stuff. But it's like, when I was a kid, man, it used to be a big deal for me to save up some money and go out and get a CD at Best Buy, or a tape, a cassette tape, and and sales, these artists would go platinum and triple platinum and stuff like that. And now it's like, that stuff doesn't happen anymore. It's more about how many plays you get on Spotify or this, and that's what gaming is kind of going to. How many hours did somebody watch something on Netflix? Like, games are kind of following that trend a bit, And so I think that sales are still going to be a part to the component, but maybe not the main part anymore. And people are afraid of that. And it's sort of weird, but, you know, kind of be expected. But with that being said, let me know what you all think. I'm curious. I'm going to link both these articles so you can check them out. Please let me know, friends, what you think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.